All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 6-game slate here, joined as always with Chrissair DFS. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, as always. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I can get used to this. But yeah, we got some success to go over. I think it was a good night for the Crunch Nation yesterday. So we can get into that. Aside from NBA, Chris, are you playing anything else today?
I might play MLB just because I wanna try it out. I haven't played in a while, so I want to play some MLB today.
Some tournament action or just cash for you today?
Same as always, just one lineup.
One lineup. Some single entry, some cash, usual.
Everything, yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Let's open up success. Actually, I don't know if I went back today. I also don't have your contest links coming in. Excuse me. Let's see, where do we start? I think right here with we went over this one. Where is it? Went over that one. I think after Aiden's, right?
Yep.
So right here. Actually, first success. We got our boy Ghost here. This is the real life success. He says I think he had his girl today, or having his girl today. He said 6th girl. I thought it was his 5th girl. But he wanted a shout out for Ghost. His real name's Garry, like me. Wife Priscilla, sorry. So shout out to Ghost. He's got his starting 5 here. This is like LeVar Ball, Chris, but WNBA right here. Except
Yep.
he has a starting 5. That's actually insane. That's a lot of kids. Yeah, big shout out to Ghost for that. That's awesome. Love to hear that. But yeah, first up, you got Deshaun here. He says, thanks for the gas money, Chris, Garry. It's all about like the car money here, Chris. We got the parking money, parking ticket, gas money, that sort of stuff. But yeah, first, what did he do here? I think he won 45. I'm not sure what the entry fee is here, but he won. So that's solid. I guess this is double up, Chris? Cash?
I have no idea. It could be anything.
No idea. Could be anything, like you said. But his FanDuel here, 1326. So we know this one. This is the single entry tournament here. So that's good stuff there. We got you over here, 1500 into 3500 on FanDuel. What happened on DK? Where's your DK contest, Chris?
I sent you the link, so we always go over both.
Yeah, let me just open that.
I had a bad swap there, so it didn't work out.
Got it. Yeah, so we got DeJounte Murray. Chris, was he on fire? Matt over here with the reaction.
Yeah, I think also went into OT, so kind of helped, kind of hurt, but it was good.
Yep. Got Rookie over here, Puppy Instructor, 3565. Shout out to Rookie. Solid stuff there. Deshaun here, Chris. Are you getting a GTR now?
No, I'm not.
Would you get a GTR? Like, say you had like a choice between a car within like, I'm not saying you'd get it, but a car within like that 100 to 150K range, what would your car be?
I don't know. Maybe an R8. I wouldn't get a GTR. I'm not too big of a fan of Nissans.
It's like an R8? Wait,
maybe. I don't know. Maybe like a. I don't know. There's a lot to choose from. Maybe the Lexus. I think it's. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's the 2-door one.
2-door coupe.
I think it's like LRS, something like that.
Yeah. Wait, the R8, is that the Audi?
Yeah.
Oh, Audi guy. Nice.
Yeah,
solid choice. Huh?
I have the model car in my room, so I like that one.
That's the one then. Got Biscuit here, 86 to 261. He says, sup. What's up, Chris? Yeah, this
nice.
One's pretty good here out of Biscuit. What did he win here? Was this some tournaments here?
Probably, yeah. Some cash games, some tournaments.
Yeah, solid stuff.
Yeah.
T-Bay, $8 to 16. Remember at the start of the slate, like 5 minutes into the slate, he was like, I lost the slate. My players are all so bad. Like, I'm not going to win. I'm so far behind. And then I was like, the slate just started. What are you talking about? So I was kind of confused there, but he still pulled through, got the dub here. So that's awesome. He's on a streak, eh? Unstoppable. It's like 2 weeks now from Thomas. That's amazing. But yeah, like you said, grinding his way up. Pretty soon he'll have the Chrissair bankroll. We got Snow up next, 25-65. Pucks, basketball main slate, NBA main slate, 82-113 on DK. Then FanDuel, 42-154. So that's a good one there. Looks like Thomas had a different lineup. Getting some different lineups here. 330. Oh, this is the same one.
No, he didn't. Yeah, it's the optimal.
Yeah, contest selection. Look at that. Well, actually, Thomas also lower stakes, but it's still good. Good contest selection from Thomas, actually. So, yeah. Dakota, 109-220, 218. Pucks action. Solid stuff there. Got Brent, 12-22. Solid stuff here out of Brent. He was in here early, actually, in the YouTube chat. So, shout out to Brent. Got Khalifa Kush here. Always forget to post here. I didn't even see these. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he got the weird treatment yesterday with the emojis. He got some weird ones here.
Which ones are weird to you? Like this one?
Pepe hands crying, yeah. That laughing one.
Is this Matt?
Yeah. Could be Matt, could be Dakota. Who knows?
Is it Matt or Dakota? Yeah, it's either Matt or Dakota. It's the common denominator right here. So yeah, I wonder who it is. But yeah, solid stuff there. 345, 626. That's awesome. But yeah, always forget to post here. So like I always say, we've got some incognito crunchers in here. So there's more success than what meets the eyes here, what you see in the success channel. But Nick, again here, NHL single slate, NHL. Solid stuff out of Nick there. More NHL double ups here from him. NHL's on fire. Got Pricky here, 25-50 main slate. FanDuel 66-150, also main slate. FanDuel. Is this just two different entries he had, Chris?
Yeah, different lineups.
Nice. Do you ever do that, or what do you think of that strategy?
No, I don't do that, but I mean, if people like multiple lineups, why not?
Yeah. So you think this is like a tournament one, or is this a double up here?
I think they're both tournaments because maybe the top one's a double up. Bottom one's definitely a tournament. One entry, $66.
Yep.
So yeah.
And we got Aiden here. It says Chell for the boys. That's awesome. $10 to 30 over there. Wait, this is actually no, that's not Chell. This is EPL soccer. So that's his specialty. One of his many specialties, actually. He loves that soccer DFS. But $10 to 30. These slates are way too early for me. Like this is like 9 a.m. my time, so that's way too early.
No, that's 12 p.m. your time. It's in Pacific time.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm used to looking at FanDuel minus 3 hours. So, I mean, still, that's way too early for me. Gotta get up earlier than that actually to do your homework. So, actually, you don't need to do too much homework if you got Crunch Tool, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Not too much, but still a little early. But yeah, pucks here from Aiden. This one was for the boys, 50-127. So must have done, I guess, a tournament win or two here. In addition to the cash contests, single slate, NBA, Lakers versus the Magic, doubled up there. Was this Kansas City, Chris, versus Detroit baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so $10 to 20. Yeah, on DK, then main slate, FanDuel NBA, 57-120. Late night slate, NHL, after hours slate, NHL, all day slate, NHL, two single game slates, NHL, doubled up in all of those. So that is solid stuff there. Yeah, that's a lot of success. Let's go up to your contest, Chris. Let's see, where are you here? So let's go over your DK first because you didn't post that one. What happened on DraftKings, Chris?
A lot of snowflakes. Pretty much, it's that simple. Actually, I had a really good lineup before we got news that Craig was starting because I didn't have him. I didn't have Paul George. I didn't have Randall. Paul George and Randall were my big snowflakes here. They were my spend ups outside of Luka. I had Luka before, but if I didn't have Randall and Paul George as my spend ups here, definitely would have had a better night. I originally had Jokic, some other guys as well. So like I said, if we didn't get news that Craig was starting, I would have probably ended up winning. But yeah, here yesterday was not too good on DraftKings. Lots of snowflakes, like I said. Chalk guys did well, but it didn't matter because they were chalk. But all my low-owned guys kind of did poorly. So yeah, that happens. But I was able to kind of use that to my advantage on FanDuel because I didn't have Paul George. He was like 60% owned there as well. I had a monster night on FanDuel, so I ended up making profit. But yeah, DraftKings here didn't go too well. But that's why I play both sites, just to use them as leverage. And yeah,
I'm surprised Paul George is getting into playoff form a little bit early this year. I think it's like 3-4 weeks early for playoff P to come out, Chris.
He's been crushing, so definitely he's in playoff form for sure.
Like right now, right? Like he's starting to get into it here with the snowflake.
Click on him, click on his name. You can see his game log. Last, 7-8 games, he's definitely been in playoff form. 60,
No.
56.
I mean, this isn't playoff form here for him. This last game was playoff form for him, Chris. This is playoff P.
No.
This is playoff.
Other way around.
Huh?
Other way around.
I mean, we'll see. But honestly, I feel like this is the playoff P. If this is the playoff P we get right here, then they should definitely go to the finals. But
it's either them or the Lakers.
I feel like this is the playoff P we're all used to. So I think this is the one we're getting. I'm just, I don't know. He's getting to that form a little early. So maybe this is just a down game for him in the regular season. Playoff P shouldn't be here yet, Chris. Got a few more weeks of the regular season. So, do you want to go over anyone else here on DraftKings?
Well, I don't think so. Like most of the people we usually look at didn't do too well on DraftKings just because, usually land on similar players. Most of them didn't do too hot.
Okay.
Actually, we have McLovin there. Let's see McLovin's team. 11th place. So he had some, some kind of weird guys on both sides, actually. So he had Dragic here. I guess that wasn't too bad, but Grant. Didn't love Grant. We had someone in the chat say Grant was going for 50 yesterday. He had a really good first quarter, but same thing as always, just doesn't get as many minutes anymore. Pretty much all his points come from scoring. So yeah, but we also had someone in the chat. We'll go over it on FanDuel. Someone in the chat said DeJounte would beat DeMar, and I think that happened. So shout out to whoever that was.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, let's look up your picture here, Chris, because you wanted to do this yesterday. So FanDuel 1,500 to 3,500, doubled up there pretty much, or actually a bit more than doubled up. What was the secret here, Chris? How do you do what you do?
I like this build a lot. Didn't have Jared Allen, so Jokic was if you build top 10 teams yesterday, Jokic was in the first one, Allen was in the other 9. So you could tell that Allen was going to be the chalk center. He was just in a way too cheap, 5.7K yesterday. I was talking about it all show. But once kind of got some value on the slate with guys like Gafford, once Lopez was ruled out, Roby as well, he was good value, Chetty, Tim Hardaway Jr., once those Mavs guys were ruled out. So it was pretty easy to get to Jokic and Luka. There weren't many spend ups that I kind of liked because, we had all this value. Some people went Jimmy Butler. As you can see, he was 44% owned there in the other lineup. He was kind of a spend up there, but I was saying that Michael Porter Jr. is too cheap. He should be around 8.5 to 9K. I said that yesterday. I still believe it. He went for 46. Just been playing crazy. So I like that a lot. I like getting to Jokic. He didn't have a great game. Only 49 fantasy points. He was 11-3, I think. So he didn't pay off his price tag, but he did well enough. The raw points mattered yesterday. So I like that build more with him. And then Luka didn't do too well either. But raw points mattered just because we had a ton of value. Value guys did well, other than Gafford, of course. He got into early foul trouble. Could have had a much bigger night because Gafford, he's obviously the backup center. Alex Len got into foul trouble 2 minutes into the game. Gafford came in. He was just playing great for 3-4 minutes. I went to grab some food, came back. He had 2 fouls, so he was out of the game. Didn't come back in until the third quarter. So that was kind of frustrating, but obviously it didn't matter. Still got the job done. But yeah, it could have been much better.
Do you think the Nuggets could be better off with Porter there as their second guy behind Jokic, Chris, than Murray, or no?
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah. Do you think they can be as competitive in the playoffs?
No, not at all.
No. Yeah. Okay. Just had to ask. Do you want to go over anything else, Chris? Here, scroll down.
Not really.
Okay. Let's see if there's any last-minute success. It's lawnmower day today, Chris. Every Tuesday.
I feel like you say that every day.
No, Monday's like the garbage day. It's loud. Tuesday's the lawn mowing day, gardening day, also loud, and then quiet for the rest of the week. And they just it is at the same time as the show. So like the garbage comes 1:30 Pacific time. Lawnmower starts 1:30 Pacific time, so it's at the same time as crunch time. But yeah, let's open up the slate here. Let's see what we got in the chat. It's kind of bumping. So Brent in here first. He was here like an hour and a half earlier, Chris. So yeah, we got Brent here. It says, ready to get the knowledge needed for another profitable night of DFS. Got Deshaun in here, says, good afternoon, Crunch Nation. What's up? T-Bay says, nice slate today. Mano's in here, says, good afternoon. Hasty in here, LFG. T-Bay's asking if you're planning on buying a car.
No.
Brent says, car season, the picture of like a race car, NASCAR kind of car. What else do we got? We got Ronald Jones in here, says, what's up, my brothers? Jugga in here says, PG 13 let me down last night. Playoff P, Chris. Definitely. T-Bay loves the 6-game slate. He says, oh my, what a day. Turn it up Tuesday. I thought it's Takedown Tuesday, Chris.
Could be both.
Yeah, I think it's Takedown Tuesday. Who coined that one? Was that Nick?
Yeah, I think so. No, maybe it was... Yeah, I think it was Nick or Turn and Burn. I don't remember.
Yeah, one of them. Hasty says, stream disconnected, all good now, might be my internet. I think we're good because you didn't disconnect from me. I didn't disconnect from you, Chris. So I think we're good. Rondo says, almost May, not December, about all the snowflakes on DK. What else? T-Bay says, Garland's actually so cold, guys, so smooth as butter. You like Garland, Chris?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like his game.
Yep. Let's see. Hasty says, Paul George, not a winner. And Rondo says there won't be a playoff P when Rondo is in with him in the playoffs.
Yeah, Rondo makes a difference.
Yeah. And then Thomas here says, hot take, Paul George will win finals MVP this year.
Yes, sir. He will.
I feel like, yeah, you would love that, but I don't know. I'm used to seeing a playoff P that we saw yesterday. So that's the playoff P I know. But you seem to know a different playoff P than me, Chris.
It's all mental with him, and Rondo's there to sort that out. So, I mean...
Just like Benjamin Simmons, right?
Well, I mean, Paul George can shoot.
Not in the playoffs.
Paul George... I don't know. I don't think it's mental. Well, I don't know. It's a different kind of mental if it's mental.
Yeah, they need... I feel like T-Bay could be like a good sports coach for these types of players, help them get over that. He probably has like a good cure to get the players out of that mental slump, mental block. But Hasty's asking Chris a question about yesterday's hooping outdoor ball yesterday. He says, who do you think posted the highest DFS score at the park? I think it was Hansen.
Yeah, he was killing it, especially if it was DK scoring. But, I mean, we were playing like trash, so it wasn't a great night for him to come out.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some playoff P in us yesterday for sure. I got Royal King in here. What's up? Hasty says, I don't understand why coaches won't play a guy like Gafford with 2 fouls in a 6-foul league. Makes no sense to save him that long.
That's so stupid. I mean, even 3 fouls in the first half, like you see coaches take their guys out. Like I think it's more valuable for the guy to stay in, play smart instead of taking him out of the game and kind of losing momentum because you have a worse player in now. Like, doesn't make sense to me. I hate that. Even in college, like 2 fouls. Sometimes I see them take the guy out if he gets 2 quick fouls. 3 fouls, I guess that makes sense in the first half, but 2 fouls in college, they take them out. I just don't agree with it. I think the value of the player being on the court is higher than the risk you kind of take with taking him out.
Maybe we need to give him some of those. Maybe we need to run some DFS crunch analytics on that, Chris. Give it to the NBA.
Well, I mean, it's just coach preference. Some coaches let it ride. I know Brad Stevens lets it ride. I know a few other coaches let it ride. Some are just so old school. They get 2 fouls, they're out of the game, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you too. I was gonna ask you if there's any coaches who let the players stay on, but you just said it, so I got that. Yeah, Hansen was on fire yesterday. Rondo says Chris loves PG-13 more than I love Rondo. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, I don't think that could be true. That's kind of a hard one to beat. Rondo. Hasty also says Rondo's going to help PG for sure. PG has so much on his shoulders, so much pressure. Does that sound like a hasty comment? PG-13, he's got Kawhi on his team. He's got a few good guys there.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been hated for a while now. He's had those poor playoff performances, so he has something to prove, which I think is a good thing. Because I mean, I think it's all mental with him, like confidence, stuff like that. Because I mean, he has all the skills in the world. He has all the tools to be a great player. I mean, he is a great player. He shows it a lot of times, but sometimes he has obviously down games.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Hasty says guy like Gafford should stay in. He isn't that important.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have these guys. That's the other thing. Like for a guy that's not important, you have like a second string big pick up his second foul, and they take him out to save him for the I don't know, second half where he's going to play 8 more minutes. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've always thought about that too. I don't really get it. But yeah, let's go into the slate, Chris. 6 games. So this is T-Bay's favorite type size of slate here. So yeah, what's your favorite news here so far, Chris? Favorite teams to target? Maybe favorite game environments, things like that.
Yeah, so there are a few spots here. Celtics, no Kemba, no Tatum, so we like Brown, we like Smart. Rockets, John Wall's out for the year, so we have interest in them. Really good spots here today, so I mean, I like the slate a lot as well.
Oh, John Wall's out for the year. I guess I pulled off a heist in my season-long fantasy league there with that trade.
Yep.
Too bad it's the end of the season and we aren't doing any playoffs. My team is a playoff team, I'll say that. Like my team would win the championship if we went all the way to the playoffs, Chris. I built my squad for the playoffs, not the regular season, unlike the rest of you guys. So I'm just going to say that. But yeah, first game up, Milwaukee, Charlotte. Let's go over Milwaukee first. So we got Axel Toupane. He's out. Kuruk's in. PJ Tucker, probable. Projected starters, Drew Holiday, DiVincenzo, Middleton, Giannis, and Lopez. I don't know if I've said this on Tucker, but I feel like Tucker on Milwaukee, such a good fit for him. Seems like a good guy there, good glue guy for Milwaukee. I'm not saying he's relevant today in DFS, but yeah. Who do you like here on Milwaukee, Chris?
I mean, it's always just Giannis, but I don't know. I don't think we need him today. He's priced fairly. I like him on DK, 10-7, tournaments. I like that a lot, but I'm not really interested in this game, really. We just have a bunch of better spots, in my opinion. Milwaukee's favored by 9. I mean, like I said, Giannis is always viable in tournaments. You don't need him in cash games today. We just have a bunch of better plays, in my opinion. But, I mean, we know the upside he has. So in tournaments, it's Giannis for me. When Giannis is playing, I'm not really interested in their other guys like Drew, Middleton, Dante, Brolo. Not really interested in those guys, so if you want to play a buck, it's going to be Giannis in tournaments. But for me, probably going to just stay away from this entire game, really.
Okay. Let's go over the other half here. The game that you're staying away from. I got Malik Monk out, Darling out, Gordon Hayward. I guess he's being listed now here. 6 games, he'll be back. So I guess a bit less than midway through next month. He'll be back, but he's still out. Melo Ball coming back soon, probably still out. Projected starters: Devontae, Terry, Rozier, Cody, Martin, Bridges, and Washington. Any interest there, Chris, at all? I mean, you kind of said stay away from this game, but maybe tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind these guys in tournaments. We've seen them have ceiling games like Scary Terry. He's put up some big numbers. So I don't mind him in tournaments. I think he's around 8K on both sites, 7-8 I think on FanDuel, 7-7 on DK. So I don't mind him in tournaments. Devontae Graham, he's also been playing well. He's 6-2 on DK, 5-7 on FanDuel. So I don't mind that price tag. If the game stays close, I mean, some of these guys will get there for sure. They don't have crazy high price tags. They definitely have room to hit their ceiling at these price points. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys is in the winning lineup, like Terry, Graham, Bridges, Washington. But for me, I don't know. In cash games, I definitely don't need anyone here in this matchup against Milwaukee where they're 9-point dogs. So I'm probably going to stay away. But if you want to play someone, one of the starters in tournaments, I probably don't mind that.
Okay. Let's see. Got some talk here. Rono says hope LaMelo comes back this season. Isn't he expected to come back, Chris?
Yeah, I think he's going to come back pretty soon.
Yeah. Next game up, Chris, we got the Portland Trailblazers against the Indiana Pacers. Portland side, I don't see any news there. Projected starters: Lillard, McCollum, Norm Powell, Rocco, and Nurkic. Anybody here, Chris, on the Blazers that you have interest in today?
So this is a better game for sure. This is the highest over-under on the entire slate. So I do have some interest here. Blazers have been struggling, but they get this matchup against Indiana where, I mean, I think I've said it for the last few games. Indiana hasn't really been playing any defense ever since Miles Turner's gone out. So yeah, that's pretty big here. They have a giant implied team total of 124. I think it's the highest we've seen since the Nets against the Wizards or something like that. I think that was like 125. But yeah, this is a monster over under here at 242 for the entire game. So I mean, I'm gonna love this game. I love the studs here. In Damian Lillard, he's 8.3K on FanDuel. So we're used to getting this guy for like mid 9Ks, low 10Ks when CJ was out. Obviously, CJ's back in now. But I mean, that's just way too cheap for Dame in this matchup. So I love him on FanDuel for 8.3K. DraftKings, it's not as big of a discount there for him. He's 9.1K. So I think that's where he should be. He hasn't been playing great. So I don't know how I feel about that 9.1K price tag. I love it in tournaments, but in cash games on DK, I just don't think you need it here. We have a bunch of other spots as well that we can target. So I love Dame and FanDuel cash with that price tag. DraftKings, probably tournaments only, maybe a last piece in cash games there. And then CJ, he's the other guy, obviously the main secondary guy for them. 8.5 on DK. I think he's 7.8 on FanDuel, so it's a decent price tag for him as well. Nothing I need to go after in cash games, but I like it in tournaments. Nurkic, so he's kind of back now. Like he's put up 2 giant games in a row now. 57 2 games ago against Memphis, and then 54 last game against Memphis. But he's priced up to 8.2K on FanDuel now. 6.8 on DraftKings. I like that price tag a lot, especially in tournaments. I don't think there's anyone on Indiana that can stop him. So I love Nurkic in tournaments on DK. Probably going to be my tournament play over there if I remember it at the end of the show. And then last guy I'll mention is going to be Rocco. We're getting a really low price tag on him. He's 4.9 on FanDuel, 5.1 on DK. 5.3 on DK. So it's a lot lower than we've seen. On DK, he's been around 5.5 to 6.5 for pretty much all year. FanDuel, he's been around 5.5 to 7K all year. So I think it's a pretty good buy low spot for Rocco in this matchup. So I like him a lot on FanDuel at power forward because power forward's kind of thin for the secondary slot. That's kind of where we get the 2v2s, 1v1s, stuff like that. So yeah, I like Rocco on FanDuel. DraftKings, more of a tournament play for 5.3K.
Okay. Hasty here. Is this misinformation from Hasty, Chris? He says LaMelo is back already, isn't he? He wants that Rookie of the Year.
No, he's not back. I mean, Hasty with the injury news, Hasty doesn't watch the NBA. He just watches our show. So he didn't even know Donovan Mitchell was out. And that's his team. So
that's true.
That's the injury news report from Hasty.
I mean, he said it yesterday, though. Even though he didn't play at the park yesterday, he's being COVID safe. He said that he actually enjoys watching the boys play at the park more than he does NBA. So there you go.
Yeah, well, that doesn't say too much. He doesn't enjoy watching the NBA.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He enjoyed watching that more than the NBA. That says more about the NBA than that, yeah. But anyway, Pacers side, Chris, we have Sabonis out. What's going on there, Chris? Is he just taking some time off or sore back? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's missed like 9 days now. So I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's a back injury.
Yeah, a little bit concerning there for the Pacers and for my fantasy team, season-long fantasy team. So I hope he comes back soon. But I mean, the year's over.
You don't have him.
Huh?
I have him.
Oh yeah, I got rid of him. Never mind. Didn't mean to do that to you. I still thought I had him. Yeah. Jeremy Lamb, questionable. Goga Bitatse, questionable, Chris. I say the name right, so now I can say his last name. Won't get upset about that. Projected starters, Malcolm Brogdon, Sumner, Levert, Brissett, and Bitatse. Yeah, who do you like here on the Pacers, Chris? No Sabonis. That's still a big one. Brogdon's been playing out of his mind recently. Is he still at a fair price tag where we can sort of, get him? He's kind of playing he's putting up like superstar numbers kind of lately.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Sabonis has gone out, he's been playing crazy. So, I mean, I love him today once again. He's 8.5 on FanDuel. I think on DraftKings a little bit more, 8.8K. So he's a really good play. Not a lock or anything like that for me, but if I land there, I definitely don't mind it. I like the matchup a lot against Portland as well. So, I mean, he's playing a ton of minutes, so he's going to be the cash game guy for me here on this team. If I do land on him, I won't mind that at all. Like I said, tournaments as well, like we've seen the upside with him. So if the game stays close, like it's projected to, definitely like Brogdon here. Levert as well. He's kind of the tournament guy that I always mention from this team. He has a lot of upside. Also can have a few down games, but I mean, I like him a lot here in tournaments. Wouldn't do it in cash games on this slate just because he's a shooting guard, and we're kind of loaded there with guys like Smart, D'Lo, Hardaway Jr. So wouldn't do it in cash games, but I love Levert in tournaments on both sites. And then Goga is kind of the question mark here because he's questionable. He's 4K on DK. FanDuel, he's 5-1. So if he plays, I think on DK, he's going to be a lock for this price tag. Obviously, no Miles Turner, no Sabonis. So should get a lot of minutes. He's really good point per minute. So I'm hoping he plays. But if he doesn't, we could probably go back to guys like Jakar Sampson. Only 3-2 on DK. Brissett, wouldn't do it. He's just a little too expensive for me. 5K on DK, 5.6 on FanDuel. So too expensive for me. But I think Jakar Sampson would definitely be in play in this matchup against the Blazers if we get Goga out. But like I said, I hope that Goga plays because I think he's way too cheap on DraftKings.
Yep. Let's open up the Rookie of the Year odds because Hasty's asking if LaMelo doesn't get it, who's going to get it? And he said Pokashevsky, Ant-Man. Definitely Ant-Man's higher up than Pokashevsky. I don't think Pokashevsky is that anywhere close, but...
yeah, it's Ant-Man.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Ant-Man. I don't think Halliburton's this close to Ant-Man. Ant-Man's the clear favorite, right, Chris? In your eyes?
Oh, it's pretty close between these three guys. Definitely going to be very close if LaMelo comes back soon. Edwards had the slow start to the year. Halliburton's been good all year. He kind of had a down stretch for a month or so. But now he's coming back up. No Fox, so he's going to have a great end to the season. And then LaMelo, like I said, if he comes back, might even become the favorite. But Anthony Edwards is still playing great, so it's going to be interesting. It's definitely between those three guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is just disgusting. Like, James Wiseman up here, like, he shouldn't be here at all. Like, what's going on here? Like, are we just, like, how did he get so high up here? Like, how's he above Pokashevsky? How's he above Campazzo? How's he above all these guys, Chris? Is he just, like, a brand name on the Warriors because he plays next to Curry? Like, what's going on there?
I mean, there's not much of a difference between those odds. It's like, I mean, that's not going to happen. It's like, will the sun rise tomorrow? You'll get the same odds.
Wow.
But on the other side, so you'll get like minus 30,000.
Okay, got it. Will the sun rise tomorrow, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know. Yeah, so we got that Rookie of the Year talk out of the way. I think, yeah, what you said is interesting because Ant-Man did have the slow start to the season as well. So even though LaMelo missed some time, I feel like he's definitely been like elite most of the season, right? Maybe not like the first week or so, first 2 weeks, but after that, like he's been pretty elite, right?
Yeah, so he had a slow start as well, but he had a really good stretch after that ended. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I could still see it happening. Yeah, next game up, Chris, we have the Thunder against the Celtics. Let's go over OKC first. So my boy Gabriel Deck, he is out. Muscala is out. Josh Hall is out. SGA is still out. Says he might come back soon, but I doubt it. Like, do you think SGA is coming back this year, Chris?
Probably not.
Like, I don't see the point. Anyway, Dort probable, so that's good to see. Tony Bradley questionable for the Thunder. Projected starters: Maledon, Dort, Pokusevski, Baisley, and Moses. Any interest there, Chris, up against the Celtics?
No, just not interested in this team. We've seen them play like a large rotation. They give random guys like Charlie Brown, Jalen Horde, these minutes, Ty Jerome. So I don't know, just nothing here for me.
Okay. Other half here, Chris. Brad Stevens, Celtics. We have Kemba Walker out, Tatum out, Time Lord Rob Williams out. Projected starters: Smart, Fournier, Brown, Ojale, and Tristan Thompson. Anything here?
Yeah, so this is the spot that we love here today with the injury news. Tatum, Walker are out today. They've been playing, and these guys are priced as if they're playing. So we have Jaylen Brown, who's just an absolute lock on both sites. He's 8.4K on DraftKings, FanDuel 8.1K. So you got to lock him in on both sites in this role without Walker and Tatum. Same thing for Smart. He's 6.6 on both sites. Just a really easy play. I got to play him today. So those two guys are the main guys, both formats, both sites. I think you got to play them. After that, there's a pretty big drop-off. Fournier, don't really want to play him. Maybe Pritchard in tournaments. Can't do it in cash games, but he's been shooting the ball very well recently. Had a down game last game, but against the Nets, he went for 34 fantasy points, shot 8 for 12, hit 6 threes. So definitely don't mind him. He might even start here. Who knows? But more of a tournament guy. Tristan Thompson, same thing. Just don't really need him today on this slate. But in tournaments, I'm fine with it. Fournier, if he gets more minutes, with these guys missing, he'd be interesting, but we just don't really know about that. Jabari Parker, same thing. If they need some kind of offensive spark, they might try to run him more. So I like that in tournaments. So yeah, it's just going to be Brown and Smart for me that are the locks. And then if you want to play one of these other guys, I'd probably stick with the starters. So wait and see who they end up starting. And then you could play those other guys in tournaments probably.
Okay. Let's move on to the best game of the slate here today, Chris. Brooklyn Nets against the Toronto Raptors, battle of the East. Two top dogs out there, Chris. Not really, but Toronto against Brooklyn. Let's go over the Nets first. We got Claxton, Chioza, Elijah Johnson, Bruce Brown, all out for them. Projected starters: Kai Irving, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Jeff Green, and DeAndre Jordan. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Nets side going up against the Raptors? I'm going to open up the spread because I'm just curious about that too.
Yeah, it's 5.5 for the Nets. On FanDuel, they're just way too expensive, so the only guys I have interest in are the two main guys, Kyrie and KD. Kyrie is 10.2, Durant is 9.7, so I don't really want to play them. It's fine in tournaments. Like, we know the upside that they have. Kyrie's been playing crazy recently, even with Durant, so definitely don't mind going to him in tournaments, but I think in cash games, you don't need to go here. Pretty much the same thing on DK. They're just a little cheaper, so I think they're more viable in tournaments. So Kyrie is 9.5, KD is 8.3K. We'll have to see who they start. Last game, obviously, Durant didn't start. He only played 28 minutes, but he still got 53 fantasy points. So this guy's just a beast whenever he plays. So he's always viable in tournaments. 8.3K on DK, like I said. So definitely viable there. If he starts, I would probably make him cash viable just because that's going to mean that his minutes are up. But if he's off the bench again, then he's probably tournament only, and I probably wouldn't do it. But I mean, they're both there on DK, so I like them a lot more on DraftKings if I am playing them.
Okay. Let's go over the Raptors, my Toronto Raptors. So we got OG questionable, Kyle Lowry questionable, Freddie questionable, Freddie Van Fleet, that is. He's questionable. Siakam questionable, Jalen Harris questionable. Trent Jr., Boucher, and Paul Watson are out. Looks like Boucher is coming back soon, Chris, so that's good to see. Projected starters, Kalo, Fred Van Fleet, OG Siakam, and Kem Birch. I was going to ask, for some reason, seems like a game the Raptors would probably want to take seriously, maybe kind of try to win here. Spread's not too bad, so it just seems like a game that they'd kind of get up for. I don't know, just to get into that playoff run, get in that top 10 seed. What do you make of the Raptors here, Chris?
It just really depends on what they do. If they rest their starters, they're all questionable, like you said. So if they rest them, then I'm going to have a lot of interest in the value guys. If they play them, I'm probably not going to have too much interest in this team just because, we know that they spread the ball around with these 4 guys. We have great value on this slate already, so we don't really need to play them in cash games. Tournaments, they're always viable. Siakam, Van Vliet, Lowry, Anunoby, they're all viable in tournaments, but really just depends on the news here.
Okay. So I guess we'll go into the next one then. Minnesota, Houston. Wasn't expecting that overview to be so fast, so I got to load it up here. Okay, so Minnesota, Chris, I don't think they have any news there. Projected starters, we got Ricky Rubio. You're not wearing his shirt today. Ant-Man, Kogi, Catman, and McDaniels. Any interest here, Chris?
Yeah, so it's a really good matchup here against Houston. They're implied to score 118. It's the back end of a back-to-back, so I don't love that. But there's some interesting pieces here. We have a smaller slate, so this game is going to stand out just because it's 2 bad teams, 2 pretty fast teams. We have condensed usage on both teams, so I'm going to have interest in some of these guys. I'll start with Cat, I guess. He's 10K on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he's 9.7. FanDuel, we have Kelly O on the other side, who's only 6K, so it's hard to play Cat here. I think in tournaments, Cat's a great play. We saw it with Rainmaker a few days ago, or maybe last week. Cat was in a great spot. There's value at center with guys like, I think it was Cantor and Whiteside that day. They busted. Cat went nuts, and then he ended up shipping it. So I think today could be similar. We have Kelly O, who's looking like the chalk center on FanDuel for that 6K range. I think most people are going to go there. So I think Cat's in a great tournament spot for only 9.7. I like that a lot. And then DK, where you can play 2 centers. I love Karl Anthony Towns there. 10K. He's more than FanDuel, so it's kind of like he's more, but I'm more interested in him there just because you could play more, or you could play 2 centers. So love Cat on DK, cash games, tournaments as well. So he's my main guy. Then we have D'Lo, who's not on a restriction anymore. He's priced 6.4 on FanDuel, DraftKings 6.3, so it's a pretty good price tag for him. We saw him go for 53 last night against the Utah Jazz, 27 points, 12 assists, off the bench, played 31 minutes. So, if this guy plays 31 minutes against the Houston Rockets here, should easily be able to pay off this 6K price tag on both sites. So I like him a lot. Like him in cash games, like him in tournaments as well. I'm a fan of D'Lo, so I like that play. And then for value on this team, I think Jaden McDaniels is kind of interesting. He's 3.6K on DK, 4.1 on FanDuel. He's been starting for them, obviously, playing 30 plus minutes per night. So I think as a last piece value guy, definitely don't mind going to Jaden McDaniels here. Don't get him if you're playing him. Don't get him confused with his brother because he's also on the slate. They're different prices. His brother is more expensive, so probably won't happen. But yeah, watch out for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't mention Ant-Man. He's probably my least favorite guy here. I like him in tournaments, but if I'm playing tournaments, I'd just rather go down to D'Lo, who's in a similar role, and he's cheaper. So Ant-Man's fine with me. If you want to play all 3 of them, I don't mind it in this matchup. Like Houston could easily give up 130 plus points here. So yeah, I like all these guys. I'm a fan of the Timberwolves tonight.
Okay. Let's go over the other half, Houston. So a lot of listed injuries here. Sterling Brown out, Nwaba out, Eric Gordon out, Augustine out. Actually, not too many. Then a lot of guys marked in. So House, Porter, Wood, Tate, and Bradley all marked as in. Projected starters: Kevin Porter Jr., House, Tate, Olynyk, and Wood. So you already mentioned Olynyk being the chalk center here, Chris. Why is he so favored today?
I mean, he's putting up huge numbers, playing a lot of minutes. This guy's he always crushes when he gets minutes. Now he's getting minutes, so that's why we like him. But this is a similar situation to the Minnesota side. We have condensed usage, so we have a kind of core of 3 guys who are interested in on both sites. I'll start with Kelly O because you mentioned him. He's the guy that's more interesting on FanDuel, in my opinion. He's 6K over there. I was saying he's the chalk center there. I think everyone's going to play him. On DK, he's 6.6K, so it's more of a decision. I mentioned we have Goga there as well for 4K, so there's decisions to make there with Kelly O. I like him in tournaments, cash games as well. But like I said, it's a decision there. And then we have 2 more guys here, 2 of the other main guys. So no John Wall. That makes us interested in Kevin Porter instantly. We've seen him crush without John Wall. He plays a ton of minutes, has the ball in his hands all game. So I like him a lot on both sites. He's 6.5K on DraftKings, FanDuel 5.6. So more expensive on DK, but he looks like a great play on both sites. So I'm probably going to lock him in for the cheaper price on FanDuel. And then DraftKings, I'm very likely to have him as well in this spot against the Timberwolves. We love the matchup against the Timberwolves. Only a 2-point spread here, so that's the tightest spread of the slate. The Rockets are implied to score 116. So yeah, I'm going to have interest in these guys. And then the last guy with the kind of core 3 that I mentioned here is Christian Wood. Another guy that's a little more interesting on FanDuel. He's 7.7K over there. I think he's a lock there. On DraftKings, he's 8K. So it's a little bit more of a decision. He's a power forward on FanDuel, which is kind of thin, and that makes him a great play. But on DK, we can kind of spread our plays around better or easier. So it's more of a decision there, but I love Christian Wood as well. I love all 3 of these guys, really.
Yep. David here in the chat, Chris, he's asking your thoughts on Josh Okogie on DraftKings.
3-2. I don't see why you need to go there. He has no ceiling. Plays around 20 minutes per night. Not like he's a volume shooter. Only way he really gets there, I think, is if he gets 4+ stocks, or if his shot is just falling. But even if it's falling, he's not going to get more than 10 shots. So I don't see the need for it. I'd rather go to like Jaden McDaniels for 3.6. He's starting. He's playing 30+ minutes on the same team. He's more active. We have Goga as well. Obviously, he's questionable, but he's 4K there. Really good value. So yeah, I'm not too high on Josh Okogie here.
Okay. Dinda here as well. He says, congrats to Ghost for the baby girl. Says tax deduction when you ship the big one 2 red roses. What? Is there a tax deduction? I don't. Dinda's with the riddles. Sometimes I don't get them all right away. Do you get it, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know. With maybe you got less tax, more people in your family. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, American. I don't know American taxes actually, but yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's still crazy. Ghost six girls. That's
5.
Absolutely insane. Austin here, the good Austin, Chris. He says, "Oh yeah, huge tax credit." I didn't know that. But let's go into the last game of the slate here, Chris. So Mavs against the Warriors. Dallas first. We have Zingis doubtful, Richardson doubtful, Finney-Smith questionable, Redick questionable, Doncic questionable, and Kleber questionable. So this whole team's kind of up in the air, I guess, other than Zingis and Richardson, who we can safely assume are out. Projected starters: Doncic, Hardaway Jr., Finney-Smith, Kleber, and Powell. Back-to-back here for the Mavericks, so I'm guessing that's probably why we have all these questionable tags. Unfortunately, it's the last game of the slate, so I'm not really sure what the best way to approach this game today is, Chris. How would you handle it?
Yeah, so I don't really need these guys in terms of spend-ups. I don't need the questionable guys here. What is Luka? He's 10-9 on DK.
11-3 FanDuel.
Yeah, so I mean, I just don't really need it on this slate. We have a bunch of other spend-ups that I love who are in great spots, like Dame, Curry on the other side of this game, Jaylen Brown, who's a lock, Rockets guys I just mentioned, Timberwolves with Cat, Brogdon. So Don't really need Doncic here for this price tag. He hasn't been playing well his last 2 games. Before that, he had a little stretch of 5 games where he was putting up 60 plus. But I don't love him here. Questionable tag. I think the elbow is bothering him, so don't love that. But the guy I'm interested in is going to be Tim Hardaway Jr. Just because he's cheap, he's not listed on the injury report. He has a ton of upside if Luka sits. Even if Luka plays, I think he's easily going to pay off this price tag. He's 3.9 on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's a little more, 4.4K, but I think he can easily pay off that price tag on DK as well. Like we said, Kristaps and J. Rich are both doubtful, so he gets a bump already. And then if guys like Luka and the other 2 guys you mentioned who are questionable miss the game, it's going to be a Hardaway Jr. night. So I like getting him in there. I think he's a lock on FanDuel for his price tag. DraftKings, it's more of a question, but I still think he's a really solid play. So I'm a fan of Tim Hardaway Jr. He's going to be the main guy for me. We have another value guy here as well, Willie Cauley Stein at center. He's 3K on DK. We've seen him play well in situations where KP misses. He missed yesterday, obviously, and Cauley Stein played 26 minutes, got 24 fantasy points. So I think he's more of a value guy that I would go to. We had the question about a Kogi. I would much rather, or if you can't spend up anymore, I would just save $200, go down to Willie Cauley Stein if it's the util slot. And that's what I would do because I like him for value here on this slate. So it's mostly the value guys here and Tim Hardaway Jr. and maybe Cauley Stein if I need it.
Okay. Warriors, we got Eric Pascal out. Kent Bazemore also out. Projected starters Curry, Mulder, Wiggins, Green, and Kevon Looney. I wanted to ask you, Chris, in the fantasy league season long, you traded your boy, or not your boy, I guess, but Catman and Ant-Man for Curry and Green. What were you thinking there? Why did you make that move for these Warrior guys?
I don't know. I'm a fan of the Warriors. I like them. They're making a playoff push, so I wanted to get them. But yeah, I also want to mention Goga is out now, so that makes Willie Cauley Stein more important on DK because Goga was one of the top value guys there. And now I think Cauley Stein becomes one of the top value guys for 3K. So makes me he's going to be probably the main guy there on DK for me now, along with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Batatse, he's out. Yeah, on the Warriors, Chris, who do you like today for DFS, if anyone?
I mean, it's pretty much always one guy in cash games in Steph Curry who I have interest in. He's 9.7K on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 10.3K. So the FanDuel price is obviously better. Kind of a tricky situation because it's not like he's in a smash spot where he's a lock. They're only implied to score 114 here. Decent matchup against the Mavs. But at the same time, we see some teams just double him, try to take him out of the game. But he's been playing very well. Problem I have with him is he's very scoring reliant. So we had that night against the Wizards where he wasn't hitting his shots and he kind of busted that game. I'm not saying that's going to happen tonight. I mean, he's shooting a ton. Usage rate is very high. Minutes are high as well. They're making that playoff push. So I definitely don't mind him, but I think on DK, he's just a little too expensive for me. On FanDuel, like I said, he's 9.7K, so that's where I'm going to play him if I do want him. Cash games, I'm fine with it. Tournaments as well. He's the main guy for me. And then the rest of these guys, they're all tournament only for me. So Draymond, don't want to play Wiggins, don't want to play Oubre. Maybe Juan T, don't mind that as the last piece in tournaments. He's 4.1K on FanDuel. I think on DraftKings, he's 3.9. So I don't mind him as a last piece in tournaments, but for the most part, it's just going to be Curry on FanDuel if I do want a Warrior.
Okay. Question from David, Chris, to you. He says, do you prefer Tim Hardaway Jr. over D'Angelo Russell on DK? I feel like it's a yes.
Honestly, I think you need both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Hasty says, is Dallas Warriors nationally televised, Chris?
I would assume so because there's 2 games in that kind of last set of the night, Minnesota, Houston, and Dallas Golden State. So I would assume it's the Dallas Golden State because Curry is the golden boy. Yeah, that's the TNT game.
Yeah, so Hasty's saying, if so, Steph will step up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and then we got LaMelo Ball here, Chris, hoping he'll practice on Thursday for the Hornets. So that's good. Might be back end of the week, later this week. Yeah, let's get into the three pillars here of the day. Three key plays, Chris, for DFS players. So first up, overall play, then value, then tournament play. Starting off with overall play of the day. So this is your favorite play of the slate, safest guy in your eyes. Cash tournaments, all formats. Who's that guy there today?
Got to go with the cover boy, Jaylen Brown.
Okay, and then what about value?
I go with Tim Hardaway Jr. for 3.9.
I think we had him the other day as well, right?
Did I?
I think so.
Yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, he played well, so that was good.
And then tournament play of the day, who do you have?
Tournament play here, I'll go with Cat just because he's center eligible. I have Kelly Olynyk in my core for cash games, but I think in tournaments, going Cat makes you different enough where you don't have to make too many other changes. So yeah, I like Cat.
Okay. And then back on DK, Chris, overall play of the day, who do you have there?
DraftKings, go with the same guy, Jaylen Brown.
Okay. Value, who's your guy?
Value, I'll do the same thing. I'll go with, well, it's one of these Mavericks guys between Hardaway Jr. and Cauley Stein. Cauley Stein is 3K, but I just feel better with Hardaway Jr., so I'll go with him.
Okay. And then tournament on DK, who's your guy there?
Kind of like Nurkic here for 6.8K. He's been crushing recently. I don't think anyone on Indiana can stop him. No Goga now, so it's going to be likely Jakar Sampson and O'Shea Brissett on him. So I like Nurkic here.
I like that one too. Okay, let's go over your cores, Chris. Start off with FanDuel. So you have 5 cores today. So you have Jaylen Brown, overall play of the day there. Christian Wood, Kelly Olynyk, Kevin Porter Jr. on Houston, Tim Hardaway, your value play. So I guess just a quick recap, Chris. Why do you like all these guys here today?
Yeah, so Jaylen Brown, great situation. Just talked about him being my favorite play. Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, Kelly O, all in great spots with John Wall out now. They're all priced as if he's in. They have a really good matchup against the Timberwolves, projected to stay close, only a 2-point game. So they're going to get heavy minutes, I think. So I like them a lot. And then Hardaway Jr. here, had him as my value guy. He's kind of the guy that ties everything together. So lets you spend up for these point guard studs. So that's why I like Hardaway Jr.
Okay, and then which ones shall we go over?
Let's look at the first two. It's just a 2v2 there.
Just a 2v2. Okay.
Yeah, so we have Dame. He's him and who's the other guy? Him and Smart. They're the two guys that aren't in my core that are in both lineups. So 8.3K here against Indiana. I love the matchup for Dame. I love the price tag. I love the team total. So honestly, he should probably be in my core, but he hasn't been playing great. That's why I don't have him there. But he's a great play. I love him today. Marcus Smart, 6'6". We talked about the situation with no Kemba, no Tatum. So I like him a lot here. And then the 2v2, the rest of the lineup is my core, so I just mentioned them. And then the 2v2 is Brogdon, Covington versus Curry, McDaniels. I honestly like the first side. I usually like the side with stars and scrubs more, but I love Brogdon. I love how he's playing. I love the matchup against Portland. 8.5K. I like the price tag a lot there. He's just doing everything for them, not just scoring. He's rebounding, assisting. So I like the price tag a lot for him. So I like that. And then Covington, 4.9. I like the buy low spot a lot for him. We talked about it earlier on the show when we went over that team. I like him at power forward. And then the second side here is Curry, 9.7. I think that's a fair price tag for him, honestly. McDaniels, I don't feel great about it for 4.1, so I'm going to go with the first side here.
Okay. Question from David. We can get into that as we go over the lineups. But he's asking who's a great pivot off Jaylen Brown since he's going to be high owned. We'll circle back to that one, Chris, after we do this because he is a core here, but we can kind of exclude him after, see what we got afterwards to go over that question. But yeah, you got Brown, Smart, Russell, and Hardaway Jr. here, Chris, as your cores on DK. Just another quick recap. Why do you like these guys here so much?
You just pulled them up. Yeah, so Celtics guys here, they're a bit easier to fit. Rockets are more expensive on DraftKings. That's why I don't have any here. But we're still going to talk about them because they still pop up in some lineups. But yeah, Smart and Brown, love them here on DK. Yeah, just to answer that question, like I don't think you need to pivot off of Brown. Just too cheap for this role. Even if they blow them out, it's going to be because of Brown. So I wouldn't pivot off of him. I would pivot off of someone else if you want to do that. But yeah, I can't pivot off of Brown today. And then Hardaway Jr. Same sort of thing as FanDuel. And then who was my last guy? D'Lo. Yeah, so D'Lo here, 6.3K against the Rockets. Like him a lot as well. We had the question about Hardaway or Russell. Have them both in my core. I think you need them both in cash games.
Okay. And then which ones should we go over here?
Let's do the first two.
Okay. So we got Terry, Jaden, Catman.
Yeah, I think a 3v3. So we have Smart in both, Brown in both, D'Lo in both. Obviously, those three are in my core. Hardaway as well in both, and then Willie, Cauley, Stein. He's the kind of cheap guy that kind of makes everything work. I was talking about Goga before. He was popping up in a lot of lineups, but we don't have that value anymore. So I like Cauley Stein here with no Kristaps. Should get 22 plus minutes or so. So I like him there as value. And then you have hidden upside if he does end up starting. So we projected, I think, Dwight Powell to start. But if Cauley Stein starts, he has a lot of upside. So I like the price tag for him. And then, 3v3 here. Scary Terry, Jaden McDaniels, Cat versus Wood, Porter Jr., and Nurkic. This one, I think this one's closer than FanDuel because you get two pretty different builds. So second side is very balanced. You get three really good plays. First side is more stars and scrubs. You get Rozier for 7-7, which I think is a fair price tag for him. I think it's where it should be, but I don't really like that too much. You get Cat, who I love at 10K against the Rockets, and Jaden McDaniels for 3-6, who I think is great value here on DK. And then second side, you get these two Rockets and Nurkic. I like the second side a lot here. I think that Wood has a lot of upside. I think he could easily go for 50 plus here. I think Porter Jr. could go for 40 plus with no John Wall, so I like him a lot. And then Nurkic, I had him as my tournament play, so I like the second side here more.
Okay. David has another question. He's saying thoughts on spending up for Giannis, Chris. Do you want to maybe just go over a build for him where we don't lock in Brown, lock in Giannis, see what we get?
You're still going to get Jaylen Brown, though.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he's projected so high, but let's just try it out.
Yeah, but I like Giannis in tournaments. We mentioned that at the start of the show. I like him more on DK. A little bit cheaper here. No one's going to play him, I don't think. So, yeah, I definitely don't mind playing Giannis here today.
Yeah, so you can see first two, you do have Brown everywhere, I think. Yeah, he's just too good to pass up on here. You can even get Giannis and Brown. So,
I think the 2v2 here is like from the lineup we just looked at is Giannis and Nurkic versus Cat and one of the other value guys. I don't remember who. Yeah, Giannis and Nurkic versus Rozier and Cat. So, I don't mind it at all.
And then if you were to get, I mean, we could just show him just so we could see, like, if you did exclude Brown, not sure why you would. You do not recommend that, but you could see here, like, the projected lineups are significantly lower. What do you think of these ones, Chris?
I mean, it's fine. I don't really see a problem. It's not that much lower, is it? It's like 278. I think the other ones were like 285, 284.
Yeah, I thought that's a big difference. 7.
I mean, you're fading the best play on the slate, so I'm surprised it's not bigger, but yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Like I said, it's not something I would do. And you also have Giannis locked in, so I'm not sure if you unlock Giannis. I think maybe you can get a higher build, higher projected score.
Let's take a look. Doing our homework here for David. Let's see, last one here. Yeah, there is a higher one, Chris.
Yeah, so
Actually,
this one has 2 Rockets and Scary Terry. I'm not sure why is it like that.
Not sorting?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it just one or all
so
of them?
Maybe the Giannis team is higher, actually.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't recommend fading Jaylen Brown.
Okay, let me remove this for myself later. Okay, let's go over the single slate game here for Royal King, Chris. T-Bay says, you guys like Devontae Graham instead of Marcus Smart on FanDuel.
No.
Okay, and then actually, can we even go over this one, Chris, with the Mavs guys all being up in the air?
No, you can't. You can look at the Brooklyn. Oh, you can't look at that one either. That one has Toronto.
Yeah, so I guess we can't for that reason. So it would change quite a bit depending on that. But maybe just I don't know, like if everyone's in, Chris, would it be more interesting if people are out for the Raptors, or I guess in, I don't know, this game, in the Mavs game?
I have no idea. The Raptors one is probably safer because if they play, I think they're all going to play. If they're out, obviously the build won't be viable. So let's look at the Raptors one and assume that they're in.
Yep. I mean, this one's kind of interesting because, like, if Siakam plays, like, I could see a Raptor being the MVP of the slate. Not seeing too much KD.
You would need them to win, I think, if they were to be the MVP.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I like Kyrie there.
Okay, yeah. What about the Durant, Chris? He's not popping too much. What do you think about, like, pushing him in a bit more here?
I mean, if he starts, especially, he could be the MVP for sure.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Chris, for you today? Should we do the housekeeping here?
No, I think we're good here.
Okay. DC says Trey Burke for value, point guard FanDuel.
If Luka's out, obviously, but if Luka's in, no.
Okay. Got some word on Nurkic, Chris, playing Tuesday, Indiana back-to-back. Coach Scott says he expects him to play both nights back-to-back without restrictions. That's pretty good, right?
I think it would be better if he was out tomorrow, then they could just play him fully today. But yeah, they said no restriction, so I don't think it matters much.
Yeah. Dinda says thanks for all. King says, would you stack both Katie and Pascal with Kyrie, Chris?
Katie and Pascal Siakam with Kyrie. I mean, yeah, if you think that game stays close, if you think it shoots out for whatever reason, it's probably my third favorite game after Minnesota-Houston, which is first, and then Portland-Indiana, which is second. The spread indicates that the Raptors guys will play, so yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay. Housekeeping, guys. Our website, dfscrunch.com. If you want to check us out, use our optimizer, try it out. Also our projections, ownership, and fantasy point. Go to our site, dfscrunch.com. Link is also in the description. And then just a reminder, all new members get a free 3-day trial. So you have 3 days absolutely for free. So to get that free trial, you don't need any special code or coupon code. It's automatically applied when you go to our site and you make an account as a new member. So definitely check that out. Take advantage of that. Makes your life as a DFS player so much easier. So you also get access to our Discord. So be sure to join that Discord if you're a member. Lots of channels here for all the different sports. So it's a good place to ask questions, get them answered, much like the show. So this is just like after hours DFS community. So lots of solid guys here, solid members. So it's a great group to be a part of. This Discord alone is pretty sick value. But then on top of that, you get our optimizer, our projections, and all of that stuff. So FanDuel, DraftKings, all the sports that they have, all the main ones. I don't know which ones we're missing. Maybe like, I don't know. What niche sport are we missing, Chris?
Tennis?
Yeah, just like 1 or 2 sports, I think. But all the main ones, we have them. But yeah, all the different slates as well. So today you'd have 5 slates over on FanDuel, on DraftKings, also 5 slates. So lots of stuff to keep you busy. So check that out. Completely free for all new members for the first 3 days. You're more than welcome to cancel anytime before then and just try it out for free, which I do encourage you to do. So to manage your account, it's just in the sidebar at the bottom. After you sign up, go to the account center and you can cancel or leave your subscription active over there. So yeah, super easy stuff, completely free. So check it out. Let's see what else we got. Gerson says, any upside with Maladon, Chris?
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind the Thunder guys. It's just I don't know who it's going to be. Like, it could be Baisley, Dort, Maladon, Pokashevsky, a random guy off the bench, Svi, Ty Jerome. Could be any of them. We've seen Maladon have big games. Like he's put up. I think last game against the Celtics put up 43 fantasy points, played 38 minutes. Yesterday he played 22 minutes, so the minutes are kind of inconsistent. If you get him for 36 plus minutes, he should be a great play at his price tag, but that's a pretty big if in my opinion.
Yep. Hasty says, sharpest projections in the game, best Discord in the web, 100% agree. And then he says, get G League or EuroLeague basketball if possible would be cool. We actually do have EuroLeague projections, so we do have that set up. I just don't think there's any slates, right, Chris?
I have no idea on that one.
I don't think there are.
Yeah, it's a DraftKings thing. It's not a FanDuel thing.
EuroLeague?
Mm-hmm.
It's on DraftKings, really?
FanDuel doesn't have it ever.
Yeah, no data here, so
look on the schedule, not on the.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any slates now, but we do have projections for EuroLeague. I just don't know if we have slates for EuroLeague. But yeah. Other than our website, guys, before you go, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed as well with the bell button and the all text clicked or selected, whatever it is. That way you can stay notified every day with our shows. We do it every day, 2.5 hours before main slate. Same format as today if you're new here. So if you have questions throughout the show, more than welcome to ask them. We answer every question. So make sure to subscribe as well just to get a good edge in your future DFS slates. So yeah, we'll be here every single slate. There's an NBA slate. So solid stuff there. Other than that, I think that's it, guys. So we'll be in the Discord if you guys have more questions. Just another reminder, make sure you're in the Discord if you're a member. I know there's a bunch of guys who are not there. So be sure to join that. Good luck today, guys. We'll see you all again tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in as always.